Hi, first of all, thanks to the wishes for my birthday. Uh, Thanks a lot. That's and I say in English because there's I know many people that it's from Spain. I speak Spanish and French, and I am happy. Above all, it's on Facebook that it's people are notified, and some people I know quite well, some people I don't, some people. But even I'd like to thank to the community as well that I asked what was the community for, but this community has been supportive since then. They paid attention. Uh, there's one person that she maybe if it happens, she will speak here about her experience, and I said that's gonna help me a lot psychologically. There's only 30 subscribers, and it's not the kind of subject that it's pop or things. I don't believe I'm gonna live out of that, never. And I could try to do things to distract, but no, it's this channel. It's for these people. It's for me. It's saved my life. I'm under threat. I'm under blackmail. I suffered a criminal dismissal. They are blackmailing me with this pedophile sick mother just to try to speak by her to force. I'm starting to have no means. I don't want to say it sometimes because I don't want to say, "Oh, you are asking." No, no, I don't want. I don't want to ask money. I would like to have my work back, to have my my proud back, my my pride back, and and all of these, and they stopped that. And I would like to have my things. That's not I'm asking for. It's just they hold my things. They hold my pictures. They hold my stuff. They hold my books. They hold my CDs, my discs, my vinyls. That has been a long time. There's not a lot of value in it, but they hold financially things from my grandfather, now from my father. They put this father against me, and I lost him. He's totally alcoholic. He's aggressive. She made him become like that, and my two sisters profit from that. One sister pretends she's really used. She's not. She's a fake. She's a scam, and the other never worked. This one that pretends to be rich, she lives in Australia. They are spoiled. It's not about inequality. It's more than inequality. Inequality is things that you can just turn your eyes, and they just you're not gonna. Things are different sometimes. They not comparing. It's not. Why not talk about green beans and stuff. And not talk about you know sorry, it's just like sometimes interrupting here, but I'm talking that they did it for on purpose. I was sort of never worried because I worked and I think things are gonna come with time. Not that I never wished my father was dead. Never in the thought about my mother. I never wished my grandfather was dead. My sisters they took me apart, and I think things would come naturally. Even if my father is alive and if I went to some problem here, if I had to lose the job because of my fault, I would say it's my fault. I would quit the city. If I would leave the city if I had some do something, if I have done something wrong, and I would go back to them. I say, "Oh, how lovely you are, and now you want to help and you want to give me barbecues and you're going to give me like caviar and prawns and everything that nobody in Brazil has, and having a swimming pool. Oh, how lovely!" No, and I could, just leave the city and just make this less painful. I could try to look for other jobs, but it's difficult. It doesn't depend on me, and it's overwhelming because it's a burden that I shouldn't. What I was in a tough job, but it was okay. I loved it. I could say without it, there is no perfect job. It paid my bills. That's the most important. I'm not prepared. I respect people who actually, loads of respect for people who do cleaning and stuff like that. But to reconvert yourself when you are, I just completed 47, and they took my job and was about was a couple of months of being 44, and then it's just like they ignore the market, and my father knows about that, and they are blackmailing. They are holding my stuff. I could probably buy a house here, even if I don't have a job, even if I had to lose my job and I said, "Dad, it's my fault, or it's something wrong, or I quit my job, but I want to stay here. You'd help me. He always helped my sister, but my mother convinced him. She said I would die in misery, I'd have to obey her. And she's sick, she's ill. She doesn't want me to be with other girls and all this. She wants me to obey. She wants me to be depressive for her to be happy, to be sick. And she said I would die. And I'm starting to lose memory and concentration because of out of malnutrition. It's easy to explain, out of nightmares, because it's happening. I'm running out of means. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get government aid as the minimum that can do have that they can do here for me, because I have a Portuguese citizenship. It doesn't matter, it's it can be like against Europe or pro-Europe, but I've done everything. Even I'm out of this debate. I put my money here. I put my life. I learned the language. Um, I say good things about the city. I know there's this because there is a crime in one shop in one place, and then she spreads things from loud, hoax or rumors. I don't know, from outside. But I say still that the city is lovely. Otherwise, I wouldn't live here. It has problem like any other city, but I'm this if I even if I get to this, they normally they try to. It's a lot of bureaucracy. That I should get like this government aid. It's the minimum, but that's not gonna bring me a social life, not anymore. The work brought me respect. Some people that respect and love me at work, they just start to ignore me and everything. And if you have work and people do say things about you that are not true, it's easy to dissipate that because you're work and say, okay, just time pass, just let them say. And it can bring some difficult sometimes, but it's just like it's temporary. But if you don't have work, the first thing one person says, and then I'm my social network here. I lost the girl I love. I lost the other people I like and love in maybe another way, but I love, yes. I was never a person who lived alone, and they know that they are doing this with me, and I cannot I think I'm stupid now because I always thought I was intelligent to learn language, to get my drive license here, to get a university degree, and now I think I'm stupid because they are doing this, but are am I ill or are they ill, and just doing and they're just waiting because they know that justice in Brazil doesn't work. It's very slow. It's very easy to bind people there, not even to say stronger words as to bribe or buy. And they profit. Friends that I haven't seen for a long time, they go to them. The ones that I know, that the words from that actually were from childhood, they're close to me, but they are close to them as well. They profit. They say, oh, he was dismissed because he deserved. He doesn't speak it to his poor mother. He's so ill. My two sisters profited from it. Even if they keep him away from a girlfriend, from society, they profit because they can say he has to be under guard, he cannot take his life. One of the sisters never worked. The one she pretends to be is not even about religious. The discussion is not a debate, not religious here. If you're religious or if you're not, what religion you are, I'm open to it. But she pretends to manipulate that, the stuff, things that she has never done. She try to do other things to isolate me from my grandfather, to my father. I used to help my grandfather with my heart, and she said, no, you just help him to earn things. And I never thought, because my father, I used to fish with him, to go to the beach to fish, to help him to clean the fishes, to help him with the houses and everything stuff, and of course to help him with computers. And he gave me computers, but I never thought about that. I never compared price. My sister went to San Diego. I guess she traveled. She did, I think, two post graduation course, like two masters, sort of two post. Actually, we call them postgrads, and courses that were very expensive. I never compared. Say, look, father, you gave this to her. You have to give that to me. No, just let her be. Live her way. But I would never think I would pass like through this in my life. And from tortures, I would prefer the guillotine. I would prefer the electric chair. I prefer the capital sentence here in France. just finish me off, just don't leave, let me live in this. I'm not gonna speak to that, I'm not gonna say the name, but yes, I would say, this is a horrible person. This is one of the, I like to kiss the devil instead of kissing her, I don't mind, I prefer to go to hell because that one, she's worse than the devil. That she's just pretending things, and she's done too much. She's taking her threats like to she that's not law, that's sickness, that's totally sickness. And her daughters actually is submitted to her, and they but with like gladly submitted, with conveniently, because they earn with that. It's 50-50, percent. And I cannot do nothing. Here is the lobbying is too strong. My manager works for is that too strong company. Once she has done the thing she has done, she's not gonna come back, because she's gonna, like, it's just like firing up at her feet. It's just like it's backstab her own self, just giving away to justice. She knows she can lose the job, even if she confesses the thing she tries. She's gonna try to keep the lie, and I'm smashed. I'm in the crossfire. I've seen documentaries about wars, and they study history, and they say, okay, but that's wow, that's horrible. What they suffer there doesn't matter. Sometimes it could be Germans against Russians. You see like human people, and see they are suffering. You see that's unfair. There's some there should be some humanity at some point. They can fight each other, but there is one point that is too strong, and you think, okay, that will never happen to me. Whatever, they're these people, they're under torture, and it's happening. It's happening. I think, okay, you see, I know maybe you're not to just to show me compassion, but I was always compassion about the family in Africa, about things in the world, about people's difficulty, always compassion. But I think, okay, that's never happened to me. I try to, to just be I'd say like a good person is just the term good, to try things right and to work. And it's not a priest as well, not a guy, but it's try to say to live a life, and being a good person in my life. I would like to have kids, exactly, because it's just not platonic loves and stuff, and to be, and because of this sick marriage of my parents, I like to be with a person that I'm happy, that she's happy with me. And even if there is stepsons or stepdaughters, and once they grow up, not doing the same mistakes, just let them be, just give the support they need. And if you are happy if your wife and stuff, and if one of them they die after, if I would die first, surely. But if you lived a happy life, then you're okay. You don't need to pick up, and then they did that on purpose. They know. And if I come back, it's just like I'm probably gonna be too weak to react if I come back, and I'm gonna be too afraid, and they're waiting for it, and you probably have memory loss. But if I get like my mother killed my grandmother, if I get like 1 second, 2 seconds of light, I kill her. I'm telling you, I kill her. I was expelled from a group, but I kill her like the girl did in the United States, because nobody listened to me. They let her did what she wanted, and there's people that went to prison, and they do that to adults. They made me vulnerable. And my sisters, they know they're killing me. My sister is, instead of having one car, she's having two. She never worked. She maybe now, if at 43, 44, she took her grad, and she had the means. She's not coming from poor, and she's normal. She's not autistic. She's not gonna start to play things on herself that she's not. She's just being clever. And then, okay, she graduates. Instead of looking of launching CVs, she just, with the money that she's killing me, she just knows she has more money. She opens a clinic. If it bankrupts, she opens another clinic. She was studying psychology, so she plays this card. I have to try to do what? I'm thinking about going to university here and study psychology. It's gonna take maybe 4 or 5 years just to play this card as well. Okay, I take it because I'm sure I'm gonna take the best grades, but I'm running out of means, out of clothes. My clothes are old. I'm doing 1 meal a day. Even psychology, if I can do more than 1 meal a day, but I know my rent's gonna finish next year. If they help me, they should help me. I don't know, but what they are gonna pay 900 euros to 1,000 euros, that is an inflation. That's misery. And people are gonna regard and say, oh, look, he's just here to get aid from government. Then it was bad since some people are gonna say that he doesn't want to work, he's lazy, or some that. And I even it would be ashamed if I found this girl I love, because I lost contact to her. It's not, I don't think it would be impossible, but if I found her, I'm gonna say, look, I'm touching the RSA, as they call here. It's one of the most I know it's just is for people who are actually are homeless, it's just one, it's humiliating. You can touch it if you are young, if you need it for some time, but you cannot live out of that. I'm not against it. Even if I need the support, maybe it's gonna help me for more 1, 2, 3 years. It could help me maybe for 10 years, for not having losing everything. But I'm gonna age in these conditions, and then let people say what they say and be weak. So I have a friendly personal loss, feelings lost, friendly that hurts me. And even it was touching because of my birthday. At least some people they still like me. But it's weird. They are a bit more. They are friends, but not close to my family. My family don't know about them. They don't mix up things, and they trust me because things I publish either on Facebook, on Twitter, they are strong. I left Instagram aside because I wished to do Instagram. I had a project that I don't have the forces or the means to carry on. I would like to put pictures from my past and is mix with pictures. It's not to do something like boring. Mix with people pictures from here, do new ones from here, and have a project like that, and bring the tourism for the city. Even you start to do for fun, because you like it. Even if they did out that they did to me in my job, but then try to bring progress and people and help people, help each others, and then but when I saw there is just my things were stuck, and then my Instagram was stuck. I don't have the force and the moral psychological thing to go around and just take pictures as everything was well, when I know that it's just that there is competition, there is a very tough market, and I barely I barely manage to eat. Like I said, it's psychologically, because if I eat like 2 meals a day, I know that's I think one day out of what I can my of my rent, and if the government doesn't help me, and psychologically it's too enduring. It's just nights of nights. I sometimes I spend my day think, okay, I'm feeling happy, put in my head I'm happy, I have good chats, but on internet, because I'm gonna if I try to go direct to a person, he's gonna say, she's gonna say, what's your age, where do you work, and all these things, and everything is gonna come in a cycle, in a looping, and they know that, and they would be, a bit, they are a bit gonna be keep a bit far, and I will keep, I will do the same. I don't even blame them. So I don't even have the morals. There's some people they have to be very understanding about that. Uh, before I would like to go to my job is the thing that I think would be the best. I go to my job and I'm protected there with cameras. They should put more cameras and records, and I don't know even more now. Because it was not even a thing about getting like the compensation, financial compensation. But now I don't even. It's just like it's giving me like vomit, because I have nightmares with my job that I'm being humiliated. She did a crime, and like I go back and she humiliates me like she's doing a favor, and I don't want that. So either she pays injustice, and I want to actually my all this reputation stuff that I don't know if it was mediatized, this thing about Johnny Depp, and I don't follow his career, I never heard, but I don't know who has reason. But I imagine that's painful for both. That it doesn't matter whoever is lying there. If both are lying, they are both destroying the other one or the other people's life, and they are not gonna change professions, not gonna change cities, and they can lose like girlfriends. She can lose boyfriends or girlfriends, whatever, and they can lose. I don't know. They lose friends if they let people, and they start just to shrink, and get like inner without just inner in their inner world, and like just like frustration after frustration. because all my life you have ups and downs, but has like 3 years, more than 3 years, 3 years, 3 years and 4 months of just, just bad things, bad news. There's not one day. And if I try to like get happy, like I said, I say, look, there is sun. I would do some jokes. I would try to use my talent, but I'm running out of it, and I go to sleep. I have nightmares, just because I don't have the time. If I had like before when I came to France, I have saved myself with my own money, like money for 4 or 5 years. I said, look, in 4 or 5 years, I find something. I was younger. I said, I'm strong. I know I'm doing a bet that I know that my chances are very high. The odds are low. I'm doing a bet that I know I would have like 99% of even 100, I would say, percent of just getting out of the bad situation of quitting a job and going to another country. But I think, okay, I'm strong, I'm young, I'm gonna manage that. I mean, that's was my responsibility. They don't have anything. They don't know where. Luckily, they didn't know where I worked in England. I quit my job. I was tired of that. There was just like sometimes just get tired. Just get new. You just needs fresh air. I wanted to live in a different place, in a different city, and I wasn't sure. I wasn't thinking about in France in the beginning. I fell in love with this city. I felt there is something reserved for me, and there were so many good moments. Just but like 7 years, and then they cut my job like this way. I'm not going back to my city there in Brazil. My father is not going back to his city where he comes from in Brazil as well, but it's a very tiny, 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 and super duper super tiny village. He's not gonna go back to help his grandparents, and no, and that's what he wants me to do, sort of. He wants me to do like he was obliged. He's not. He doesn't owe anything. He got his inheritance from even when his mother was alive. He built his house. He bought his clinic. He could invest his money. He could do. Things could be easier for him because it's tough. And then, but he's not gonna go back. Oh, I deserve. I'm not a grateful person, so I have to work like. And no, no, I choose my life to be here. I want my freedom. My father, if he wanted, he could have visited me many times. In 2013, I invited him. His wife didn't allow. His daughters as well. They don't. They won't say that, but they don't want him to get in contact like they did with my grandfather. Because if he gets close to me and said, "Oh, Harton, how amazing you're doing here," and he helps me, I never thought. But you have to think like you have to be practical. It's about financial things. If he gets attached to him, and if he wants to stay some more months, and because they almost divorce sometimes, if he maybe he stays like wants to come sometimes, he likes so much here that he wants to spend 6 months of his 6 months of the year here. He would like to do so. He would do so. He would be welcome. He would help me. There's an email. I don't know. I was checking because I lost one account that I don't use from Brazil, but there's another account I use, and normally I have copy in both accounts. But there is an email he's saying like in the years like 2000, something like that, that he slept for 2 years in my room. So much he missed, and I could say he's pedophile, but he's not. But my mother made him hate me. But he was sleeping there because he doesn't have any relation with her, and he was passing a porn message 2 months after I was fired. I was criminally fired, and saying to people, saying to friends of mine that I'm away, I'm far away in time and space, saying that he's a serious man, that I am dirty, that, and he passes this kind of message to people, and people believe him, and he manipulates, he bribes, he's like influence peddling. So he worked for a company, even he's 1979. He's just like sort of, we call like sort of it's like a godfather of this company, and even he sort of retired. And he told me like ages ago, like more than a decade ago, that he was at easy, that if I needed everything, he was even in agreement that I should go for an apartment, a better apartment or something better. But it's his wife. She says, no, don't give anything to him. He needs to die. And even if you say, oh, okay, it's everything, you don't, it's just be thankful for what you have. But you cannot, even her, she never worked, and she got things from her father. And then for more than I worked for 60 years, 70 years in these works, that they take the, out the crap out of you. and then you finish your life, you're tortured, you work so many hours, and then she's there, she's just living. And then I couldn't even, I just struggling. And then I could would like to pay, I don't know, a trip, even if it's just like, I don't know, not even could be even in the country here, in the surroundings, or I don't know, in another country that is closed, not even taking an airplane, just to a girlfriend. Like, I cannot even pay a dinner now, probably, just coming. And then they are there. My sister is by swimming pool saying I'm stressed, and she's by the swimming pool. And she doesn't have to work, and she's just sorry. It's just too much. There were like people like that were arrested, but United States, in Australia and the United Kingdom, I think they take more serious. Here in France, they are serious, but I was reading now they are starting to talk about Munchausen syndrome by proxy, because it was rejected. They have their culture, though there are loads of lonely mothers. Surely there are cases like that, but it was bad viewed, as it was bad viewed, like. Women go to couples go to United States or other countries and buy children, like pregnancy, and they then pass. I think there's loads of law, and they passed the law, but there's a different culture, and so that it's difficult for them to understand that. But my manager gets, even if she's split, she has like two, she's a second marriage, and there's a couple of sons from the first one, a couple from the second, but she looks like she's very attached to these two last sons, a daughter and his son that worked there. The daughter was about 27, she must be about around 30 now, and her son started at 18, she must be now 23, something like that, 24. And but she was very attached to them. So if my father calls and he doesn't speak to his mother, and he's so bad, and he escaped the hospital, even if it's not true, people believe that. You just launch something, just sprinkle something on a person, then I manage, oh, how bad I have this. And then just like I'm in trouble with a colleague that is friends of her son, and oh, okay, now I know from Ayrton's past. And then she say, oh, he must be very ill, he must have escaped it. She believes that. If if you read the articles, these Munchausen syndrome by proxy people, they put father against son against daughter, and and they cause confusion in doctors, like in group of doctors, because they say, no, my son has something, he has a disease, you need to find it, and they push it, and they can get quite aggressive, or use other mean. You have to find a disease, he has a disease, he must be with his mother, blah blah blah. And they push it, and they cause confusion this in these doctors, sometimes in specialists. Imagine my manager, of course she's scared. She think, okay, this guy is working for 4 years, is he gonna do something crazy or whatever, and if his father wants him dead, so I can just tell people in the surroundings here his father wants him dead. He's just like he did this and that in his past, and just she killed me off. But I'm not arrested. The police knows probably about that. But what does it matter? I'm isolated. People believe that, though. So nothing happened. They call the people, like the police here, that they take care of the borders, stupid. They call people who gave me my drive license stupid. Even these people who gave me, actually it was not this manager, but it was another one, that I passed like two months of trial, and these trial shifts and trial period. The manager could fire me. She doesn't need to give a reason. If she doesn't like, I don't know, she doesn't like my eyebrows, if she thinks she doesn't like my shoes, if I turn out my face 2 degrees more than she thinks to the left, she could fire. Okay, you're fired, and I cannot complain, and I know the law, and it's like that. She can just say, okay, I don't like you, and that's a reason for I don't want to keep you here. And she could, because it's trial, and then this is, I don't think it's gonna work. Bye, it can be for any reason. And no, I struggled there. I wasn't. They call these people, but people start to believe that. and my life is being ruined. This, and I lost friends. I'm isolated. I'm not gonna quit the city. I'm not gonna leave it. um, I'd like to have my pride back. I'd like them to stop this blackmail. I'd like to have my things back. I'm not asking. They owe me, and then I would be very harsh with them. I don't have pity. They're not. They never showed any pity to me. They're not showing. My sisters, they pretend. My twin sister especially, she pretends, but they are gonna play this game that they love me. I don't know. They are playing. They don't have any pity. They are doing that on purpose. It's just a game. They are playing, and I like to find the girl I love here. It could be another one, but I think I would not be rightful. Though this girl, sometimes I have dreams, but more nightmares, that she believes the things that were she was told, and then it's more disgusting because she believes, and I get like either desperate, I get angry, and when I get angry, she pay attention to me. I think it's better to be angry, but it's just they put so much things in her head that it's would be very difficult. They put people for things in head of other people. I try to get in contact with Brazilians here, but the Brazilian made contacts with the Brazilians there. Someone knows that someone come from my city, and then my father used his influence, and they started to repeat what they were saying there. Oh, you need to go psychological treatment, and say, look, I suffered like a criminal dismissal. They have a Munchausen by proxy. You understand this? Oh, you understand, but you need to see a doctor. I need to see a psychologist. Okay, I can see it, but you're not saying that it's not gonna heal the problem. You need to take things out of the girl that I love, out of her head. You need to try to things. I spoke to the guy. He was a PhD lawyer here, but constitutionalist. But he doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He doesn't just, okay, can you see the papers and the law? And the other girl, she's studying actually psychology as well. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know about Freud, about Jacques Lacan, about Carl Jung. She doesn't know about Stanley Milgram, about Jonathan Hyde, about Boris Cyrulnik, about I know about these guys, even if I'm not, just because I know. She doesn't know, and you just have you heard about the theory of the small world? Because they said it's just it's impossible things, that you just need to find this girl here. She lives in the surroundings, and things like they were repeating things from my family. No, I never heard. I've heard about Munchausen by proxy. No, I never heard. Oh, but it's if they have need a Munchausen by proxy, it's you. You have to yourself. Okay, I have to myself, but they are blackmailing thing. And then they start saying no, but you need to go to a psychiatrist. And the guy who broke my car, and the work, and they started to say repeat what my family is saying, and then of course the contact is finished. I don't want to see these people anymore. That's it. Thanks for hearing anyway. I hope I saying you can see from my voice from previous. I'm losing energy. And I dreamed I was about, so I wanted like to be like healed or suffer the euthanasia, but it was a sad dream. I don't want it just was a nightmare. I woke up this morning, because if you start these people don't care. If you don't care about your life, people don't care. But the risk is, if I keep my life, what's gonna be? I'm gonna be a homeless. I'm gonna be ostracized all my life. It's a difficult choice. It's the torture of being this. I also sometimes I have nightmares that I'm there in Brazil. My mother is laughing, and they just took control of me. And there can be, and I already have nightmares that it's my instinct. I was killing my sister because I was saying, look, you know I was dying. You are rich, and I'm killing her, and I'm killing my mother. Sometimes I have nightmares. I'm saying about it to you, and just I think it's my instinct coming out. Or they are humiliating me, and I live there until I'm 80, like, and my mother laughing, at me, and I lost all my life. I don't shag anymore. I cannot have contact with people anymore, and I worked, and I have a sister who never worked who is judging me, and they destroyed my life like that, and you can see my voice, and I was, and this is not, if I talk this thing, this is not meant to be popular, but it's about to talk to people that are adults. So sometimes I use strong terms because I know the child policies. It's for people for more over 18 years old, and to help people that are victims of that, or even sometimes in my case they need to be punished because they went too far. But sometimes maybe in some cases you don't need to go so hard. It depends, because there are different degrees, and you can fix it before the problems get so strong that you cannot fix it. Maybe you can help like a mother like that, or you can help like there is some cases where they come to terms with that. I'm gonna seek help. I'm gonna start. I'm afraid that they have like this thing in their heads, because It should be like two psychologists at least, a group of multidisciplinary, a nurse, like a woman charged for insertion, and and a social assistance, like they call a counselor, that should just check out my rights and everything for that. Let's see, but I'm pessimist. They almost said that it was not for me. They said, she mentioned that it was my nightmare. I see they're gonna overlook. I see they are gonna try to turn a blind eye to my marriage, because they say that they don't know any lawyers and things like that. I don't need them to know. I think I need the support. But normally people know. They can say, oh, I know this guy there. He worked for me, or he worked for my sister. Just they want, I think, just to keep the things, and just I spoke about myself in my practice, and oh, have you seen a psychiatrist? Just, but if you say this, I was polite, or I just tried to explain, yes, I've seen, I went, but the guy was useless, and I have this trauma because sometimes I was obliged. And if you say to a person who suffer from mental psych by practicing a psychiatrist, and he doesn't know, and this guy didn't know what it is, it's, you are insulting this person. You are just giving what they want. It's just like that girl who was like getting cancer treatment, and she didn't have cancer. Oh, if your mother is saying this, no, maybe the problem, the best thing is to get is to see a doctor specialist in cancer, and you get more cancer medicine injected into you. No, you're just augmenting the problem. It's just like people don't get it. It's just like, it's just augmenting. Unless I go to a guy, yeah, I think I should find, he must be very intelligent, he must know about these things, he just must know about rights, and some people are specialized in more than two areas, has a multidisciplinary, and or a multidisciplinary group, or he has like multiple courses himself, and he's forensics, and he knows about forensics, and he knows what kind of procedure I should take living in my conditions here to affect the justice in Brazil, and to try to get out of the situation, how to give like practical advice how to do with my manager, because justice here is gonna take long. It's criminal justice, gonna take 5 years. How to take, how to I should talk about the girl I love. It's not, oh, not, that's not our business. That's your personal life. No, that's their business. Well, how to recover your friends, all of these, and now I need the support. I need, this. But normally, my experience, these people are, sometimes you go there very cold. You just on your back. You're just, you're just a file, and they say, okay, there's 4 months, 5 months, and it's over, and bye. You just now, oh, it's okay. Then what they're gonna do? They declare me unable to work. It suits me, but I don't want to. It even, I think, I don't know if I have like sort of, I have sometimes pain in my tummy area, in my abdomen. But I don't know what it is. I've been with this pain for a long time, with like almost since 2017. And but I don't want to say, because either they are gonna turn a blind eye, they're gonna say you're finding an excuse. No, I'd like to go back to my work. I want, if I have something they didn't find, but they did very, very poor exams here, and very quick. I was sort of mistreated as well, and without job, it's, they're gonna not gonna pay any attention. You just die. You just you become like, to be honest, you become like food for the fishes. For you become like experimental corpse for whatever. And then that's it. And then, unless they care about it, and they say, because being professional sometimes is going beyond your professional. Like I used to work like hotels, probably it's a very tough area, but not only to say, the golden rules. You need, some people are different. Some older people, they want to talk more, and if they want a glass of water, and you're not supposed to go give a glass of water that time. You need to understand the people. There, of course, there are some rules, but sometimes you need to ask, okay, how are you from? And you cannot just do an automatically question. If you can remember their name and the story they are told, and things they like, and their preferences, it's better. You have to customize it, and you have to treat, even if, okay, they are professional, even if you keep a line of friend, though many people start become really friends from these job relationships, or even marry, or they flirt, but they try to keep a line. and but you have to put yourself a little bit beyond. That's very good customer service. And because you treated these people, they are special ones, you know. They're just not another, for people working in restaurants, they're just not another table you are serving, just another customer, you know. It's just like, you know, okay, let's see your case, let's customize things for you. That's people even try to do for internet and stuff. And that's it. Sorry, I'm tired, and I don't know if I'm talking things that are silly, but I hope if I can talk to someone that is like suffer. This person seemed like very sure it's of herself, and that's sort of looking. I received something. Sometimes just some comments that are supportive, and if she says okay, because if she's her life is solved, she's not afraid. She's not afraid because she's another country. It's sorted, and there's like many. Now I'm afraid, but there many times in my life when I had my work, I was not afraid. If I had to witness or if I had to say something, so no, I say it because I'm not afraid of being punished or anything. You know, you just have your opinion and you have your circle already, and you are well with that. And then if she's strong, I'm not strong, you know. And some people understand that they are victims, they are not strong as well. So for them to talk, they feel sometimes the same thing. They feel spied. My family got the contacts, not they are given the cards. Actually, they are controlling things here. They still have the contacts. They didn't erase them. They're surveying me. I feel that. And some people say this. They want to keep like a low profile. They're afraid. And there are many things called victims of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, because it's so much defamation that you end up like running away, you know. Either you have to face these monsters, and my father was sort of the balance, and I lost him. For me, he's dead since 2018. I'm not gonna. Sometimes I have some nightmares. I'm crying, but I feel hate of myself when I'm crying. I should hate him because he lost the respect. He doesn't respect his son. As a father, he said, like when you get older, you get like more fragile, and he never obeyed his mother. He said loads of things, bad things about his grandfather, that he felt mistreated. He felt it was unfair. Even he got his piece of the pie, and it's a big piece of the pie, and but he's totally being, he's breaking his principles. And just like he said once, he said I should never be born, like just because his wife said this once when I was 15, that just so why they didn't give me to an orphanage or something like that. And when he said, once he said that, for me he was dead as well, because it broke my heart so much. It was the end of 2010, that he even mentioned that I should one of these platforms, I don't know if it's WhatsApp, but he said that they should be murdered, that they deserve to be murdered here. Imagine saying that. So of course, if he thinks in this violent way against me because I don't speak to his wife, and he's doing what she please her for her sex at their when they are at almost 8 years old, and he's doing his fetish, of course I feel like I want to kill him. He has a gun I don't have, but what once I arrive in Brazil, I want to try to find a gun for myself. I'm gonna take out his gun, and I'm gonna say, look, you made. And I'd like, even not them to kill, I'd like them to spend like 4 months of their life with famine, with misery, afraid of losing their house. You should pay me anyway. It's an obligation of a pension, because it's an obligation from a son to a father. If I was rich, a footballer, and there's nothing, law should oblige me to pay. Oh, you don't like him, okay, but you pay him. It's your father. It's vice versa. And no, they just want to prove it's a disease and just come back, just as sick, and they're ruining my life. Just I want these people, just, you know, if they are tortured, I don't mind. But of course, not gonna arrive to that point. I want these people in jail. I want my life back, you know.